Evildoers beware, cause Batman and Spawn are here to stop you. Based on the one-shot 1994 Batman and Spawn crossover comic from Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane, comes this action figure set of these dark and tragic heroes. So let's go ahead and check out these DC Multiverse action figures. Hey, who turned out the lights? Now this 2-pack of these dynamic dark duos of Spawn and Batman here is a recent new release from McFarlane Toys that went on pre-order of July 2023 and was released the following month in August. Now let's check out the details of each figure. Starting with Batman here, he has a classic style, being in his dark gray and black combo superhero gear with a black cape. Batman sports a very Frank Miller style expression with a mouth open and a pain expression and pronounced chin. This Batman does not look happy, and I feel like he wants to scream out in agony. Now no clue what's going on with Batman's neck here, but it looks like old Bats here is really straining, if you know what I mean. You got the classic yellow Batman logo upon his chest and further down his utility belt in the same yellow coloring. Now I do feel like Batman's belt is lacking details to it. It needs more utility pouches or something to make it stand out. The muscle sculpt details on the torso is nicely executed, and I'm just loving on how the pulled and pinched fabric details they achieved here. The arms are nicely done, but basic in details with not much muscle definition shown like in the torso. I would have to say the main star of the arms would be the bat spikes on the gauntlets here. Batman has these interesting clutching hands that he comes with, but he does have a set of alternate hands. One hand being a grasping hand that you can place an oversized black batarang in, while the weapon has a nice shape to it, but it doesn't have any real details to it. The other hand would be a closed fist punching hand to fight evildoers with, or Batman trying to fight Spawn here, which I personally don't see going well for him. Now Batman's cape here is designed very well, showcasing a lot of wonderful sculpted angles and overlapping shapes to it. His cape mantle is also impressive, with the stretched out lines from the side to it creating sharp horn tips around Batman's shoulders. The leg area of this Batman action figure is nicely sculpted, showing decent muscle structure. The calf-length boots and feet area do have some shape to it, but otherwise basic in appearance. Now let's move on to the Spawn action figure. Spawn here is sporting his iconic look of demonic awesomeness, and I have to say, that makes Spawn, well, Spawn, such as the wicked armor pieces and his out-of-this-world cape design. Spawn has a nicely detailed face sculpt that shows textured details from his badly burned face. You also get the iconic white coloring over his face sides and his green unearthly eyes too. Spawn has a leaner body type with a ton of muscle definition showing here at the torso. I have to say, this Spawn is ripped. This Spawn only showcases a black and white torso paint job. Now Spawn's arms are decent, being in all black with some muscle shape showing through. He also has nice hands that end in claws, which is really cool, but the star of this area would be the spiked armor pieces on both arms. A nice oversized forearm armor on his right side and almost spiked gauntlet type on his left side. Within those clawed wicked hands of Spawn, you can equip this demonic sword that is fantastic looking. It has an oversized bottle opener sword shape that has battle damages all over it. Plus, you also have this amazing metallic skull at the top of the hilt with glowing demonic green eyes. It's seriously the best. Spawn also has this wicked demonic chain belt that wraps around his hips. Now, it would have been much cooler if they painted the eyes here green too, just like I've seen in the comics. The cape of Spawn is just as iconic as Spawn himself. The symbiotic suit that includes the cape is amazing. This cape has a mind of its own, being able to defend and attack as needed, and you can truly feel it with this cape sculpt here. I'm also loving the chain skull cape class that is part of this action figure. Such a nice detail. The legs of Spawn are in all black with the same level of insane muscle details found on the torso. You also get some nice exterior pieces found on the legs, such as the utility pouches on his left leg and even banded spike armor that wrap around underneath his calf and the middle of his foot. And when it comes to the leg armor, I would say the star is most likely the oversized spiked armor shell that basically encompasses the bottom right portion of his right leg. And I have to say it's all pretty impressive. Now, will this dark duo be able to work together to stop the evil going on in New York, or will they simply fight each other due to their suspicious nature? Now, let's move on to the unboxing and the articulation of these figures. So, let's go ahead and unbox these tragic heroes. Let's go ahead from the bottom right here. Pop that out. Flip this over. And pull them out and see what kind of goodies we get with them. Alright, there's a lot going on here. As we can see, it is packed with a lot of stuff. Get some kind of art card deal. That's kind of creepy with all the skulls. Oh, cool. And the illustration that's on the back of the packaging, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. Let's set that off to the side. The art card that was behind them, you get their trading cards, their little art cards, as well as stands. One with the DC and one with the Spawn logo. But let's check out the actual figures. We got Batman, we got Spawn, the sword in the middle, some bat accessories right here. Looks like a stand of some sort, or I'm not sure what, but we can definitely see there is strapping on these figures in various spots, at the feet, at the torso, that I can tell. And then at the backside, their capes go through there. And just give me a second and let me get these figures ready to showcase the articulation. So we're going to start with the Batman action figure first, check out his articulation, and then move on to the Spawn one. So let's go ahead and start. So with his head, the head actually doesn't spin by itself, but it's actually the whole neck piece, as you can see, which is quite interesting. This is the first time I've had one of these with the McFarlane figure. Normally the head would move, but it's going to be right down here where I guess that ball joint is. But nice side to side, as you can see, he did spin around, points down pretty easily, and then he pretty much just goes back to reset. Bat ears on the helmet, nice little soft plastic so you won't hurt yourself. Nice soft plastic for the cape, as you can see. Let's check out the T-motion for his arms. Actually pretty decent. I thought there's going to be some restrictions right here at the cape cowl, but really good. All right, let's go ahead and check out the shoulder rotation. See if there's going to be some limitation, which there probably is. That's about as far as it's going to go upwards. And obviously you're going to get restriction there at the cape. You can actually go back, but as you can see, it's kind of, you're going to have troubles. So, but let's go ahead and put that back. See, it's got some bicep rotation. Really nice. Elbows go in. As you can see, not too bad. No spinning there at the forearm. The bat spikes here at the wrist or forearm. Nice and soft so you won't hurt yourself. Wrist spins around quite nicely. The arms or the hands, they go in and they go out. Actually, that's really smooth, so good job there. So it looks like it has double articulation right here at the top part of the torso. So a little hard to do with the cape around it, but you can do it. So that's nice. And then right here at the bottom part right there at the belt, there's definitely going to be some rotation going on there, as you can see. So that's not too bad. Leg splits. Actually, really nice there, so that's good. A little bit of thigh articulation there, not much, so those are going to be limited. But let's see. Kick forward, not bad. You will have some, he does kick back really nicely, but with the cape, it's kind of just gets in the way. So we'll put that back to reset. Check out the knees real quick. Really nice, really good. Nothing there. Feet, they point down, they point back. Has that toe articulation, as in all McFarlane figures do for the most part. That's good. And right there at that ankle, really nice. Swivel, and then obviously the feet can turn around. So, but not too bad for the articulation on this figure. So let's go ahead and just check out his accessories real quick. He does have a batarang. Pretty much unassuming, but it is one of his accessories, so there you go. He's got his alternate hands, more of the closed punching. Well, one's kind of more gripping, the other's more of a fist, as you can see. Does come with that DC stand for the feet, and he does have the peg holes right there, so that'll be good. But pretty much standard for a DC Multiverse figure. And he does have the art card. It's got that nice Frank Miller style look to it, and obviously with Todd McFarlane's drawings, so they're really nice. And as you can see, and you can pause the video if you want, just a brief description of this particular Batman. Right, let's go ahead and move on to the Spawn figure. I actually forgot to show you this on the Batman figure, but let's just check out his crunch. That's about as far as he'll go. That way, backwards, not too bad. And then side to side, not too bad there as well. All right, so definitely got that covered. Now onto the Spawn action figure. Okay, so here's the Spawn action figure. So let's go ahead and check out his articulation. So right up here at the head, ooh, that's nice and soft. That won't get in the way. So will it spin? Oh, yep. Unlike the Batman one, the joint's gonna be right up here, not down at the neck. But as you can see, it spins around quite nicely. Tilts down, very good. And then pretty much just goes back to reset right there. We'll see if we can tilt it somewhat. Yeah, it does have a decent little bit of a tilt. So not too bad, not restricted too much by the cape right here. Let's see, this is a gorgeous, nice, soft plastic, as you can tell. So not too bad. When it gets down here at these little parts, they are a lot softer. So just be careful. You don't want to pull too hard. You may rip it. Let's go ahead and check out the shoulders. If we can do a T-motion, I don't think so. He really has a lot right here. So that's going to restrict his movement. So that's about all you can do right there. As for his shoulder rotation, that's about it. Up there. Same with the other side. Very, very limited. So you could probably, if you push this back, and go back further, but that's about as best as you're gonna get. So, all right, let's go ahead and see if I can do some bicep rotation. So, yeah, you can do the bicep rotation as always. Wow, these are sort of soft, but they are a bit hard. So just be careful right there with the spikes, and that's gonna be the same with these, even the little ones. These actually hurt a little bit more. Well, let me see if I can get that. Yeah, there you go. So it kind of hurts a little bit, but there, the elbow it definitely goes in. So with the wrist, spins around quite nicely. The hands can point in. This one will just go back to reset. While this one right here, you can put it in and you can put it back, as you can see. So some obvious reasons, there is going to be limitations due to armor and the cape with the arms. Let's see. Definitely got the double rotation right here at the top torso. So you can spin around like so. Not too bad. Let's check here at the bottom one. I'm just going to hold it here and move the legs. But yeah, you can definitely spin that around should you need to. The chain, nice soft plastic, so that's good. And, some good side to side. That's pretty decent that way. And that's about as far as he can go there. Right, legs. They split quite nicely. Very good. Kick. Forwards, all right. Actually really good. And then going back with the cape some. He can go back to a bit. So again, the cape gets in the way. There is just a little bit there. Again, right there at the thigh area. As for the knees, I'm going to use this one. But they can definitely go in. Bends really nicely. Goes right back. There's going to be very little. Ooh, well, these are hard. These are sharp. So be careful with this. Especially if you're going to try to bend that knee. With this foot, that's all you're going to get right here. This piece of armor does restrict it, but we'll look at the other foot. So, but it does go up on this one, goes back, has the foot, a little bit of articulation, as you can see, a little toe articulation, swivels, and rotates on this one only. But not too bad, though a little bit of a, rough on the fingertips with all these little spikes. They're not soft at all, so. All right, let's check out his accessories. He's got this gorgeous sword. Almost looks like it can open up like a bottle cap off of a bottle, obviously. But loving that. Really cool. Hey, what's that? Oh, it's got a little red paint there. Oh no! Somebody gave me the QC department. Well, that's not too bad. Spawn does come with the stand, and unlike the DC one, he gets white printing right here with the Spawn logo. And obviously, he does have the hole for that peg display right there. Excuse me. And he has his own art card, as you can see, which gives a description of Spawn, aka, or I guess Al Simmons, aka Spawn. So pause the video when you want to, and you can read all about him. All right, let me go ahead and show you that stand that it came with. So as I just mentioned, this 2-pack actually does come with this nice little display stand, but it's actually a display stand for the art card, and this particular art card. So you just go ahead and slide it in like so, and you can display the skulls with the skulls and use it as a backdrop behind the figures, or you can take the other side and just insert it like so again, and use this instead, should you desire. So let's go ahead and check out the size of both of these action figures. Now, the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Spawn and Batman action figure here are stated to be 7 inches tall. But let's go ahead and put the ruler up to them. Now, starting out with the Spawn action figure, the ruler shows that this figure is actually 7.5 inches tall. That being from his feet all the way up to the highest point of his cape, which I have to say is a pretty impressive height. Now let's go ahead and check out the Batman action figure and see if he's just as tall. Surprisingly enough, old Bruce Wayne in his batsuit comes out to be 7.5 inches tall too, measuring from his feet all the way up to the top of his cow's ears. Now for those collecting the DC Multiverse action figure line, here is Batman and Spawn with other action figures from that line to give you a sense of scale. Now let's check out some of the packaging highlights over these dark superhero duos. On the front, you can see Batman and Spawn clearly displayed as well as their accessories, digging that wicked sword in between them. There's also their respective names and logos underneath them as well. The packaging sides are pretty standard, having the character names and the DC Multiverse logo there. Beyond seeing the actual figures on the front, I think the backside of the packaging is truly amazing, with the classic Todd McFarlane illustration of Spawn and Batman serving up justice in what I believe is supposed to be New York City. Now let's move on to my pros and cons opinions on these action figure collectibles. The pros. The Spawn sculpt. Both of these figure sculpts are truly amazing and all the details and textures put into them. But between the two, I think Spawn is a better one, especially with the stylized cape. Sword accessory. Out of the limited amount of accessories these figures come with, it is Spawn's sword that is a true winner here. With the silhouette shape that it has, and the wicked skull with green eyes just above the handle, it's truly nerdmazing. The cons. The paint job. It's not that the paint job is bad, but I am disappointed on the missing paint from the Spawn figure. It is missing the red paint on his torso area, as well as the red and white paint that should fully cover his forearms and hands. I mean, it's obvious that it's supposed to be there, because it's shown on the back of the packaging on the illustration. The background base. I know it's interesting to have, and it sure makes sense with Spawn with all the skulls on it, but I'm not sure it fits with the Batman character. What are your thoughts on it? The Batman figure. I'm just not digging Batman's facial expression. I would have preferred a more stoic look to him, but that's just my preference. Plus, I did notice a few factory defects on it, such as a scratch on its face and a molding defect on its cape, but this could have just been on my figures alone. Dynamic posing. Again, these are nice figures, but with the limitations from the capes and the armor pieces, it is kinda hard to place these figures in dynamic poses with these restrictions from their outfits. So here's my favorite part of the episode here on Nerdmazing. Special shoutouts to some of my Nerdmazing fans. So, a shout out to Extreme Con Army 3389, Toy Hunter, The Patriot 47, Zook 1, and the Horror Cat Dad. If you want a chance to be randomly selected for a special shout out on the next Nerdmazing review episode, don't forget to leave your comments here. Well, I had a blast reviewing these DC Multiverse Spawn and Batman 2-pack action figures. And if you enjoy McFarlane Toys just as much as I do, check out these episodes right here. Or maybe this is more your style. Well, thanks for joining me here at Nerdmazing. And as always, be passionate in what you do, share your passion with others, and be kind to one another, as this world can always use more goodness. This is Adam with Nerdmazing, and I'll see you next time.